parents' house, but there's a little problem. You're broke. Well, don't worry, I got you. So today's video, I'm gonna explain to you guys how I was able to move out of my parents' house at 18 years old, very broke. No, I did not have to become a stripper. No, I did not have to sell my panties online. No, I did not have to do anything on the low to keep the lights on. I was doing everything very legal. I'm gonna share with you guys what I had to do and how I secured myself to, you know, be able to move out from a younger age. So if you're new to my channel, hey guys, my name is Nessa. I'm 21 now and I moved out when I was 18 years old from my parents' house. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of background on how that whole process went for me, and hopefully I could relate to some of you guys. Hopefully you guys can get some advice, get some tips, learn something from this video. I used to make these kinds of videos all the time in the past where I would sit down and give you guys advice, and I haven't done one in a while, so I thought, you know what, let me share with people what my journey was, what my story was when it came to moving. Moving out is a big step for every young adult. Everybody wants to have their own freedom. Everybody wants to have their own spot to call their own, to not have to worry about rules, worry about getting in trouble for coming in too late, curfew, that whole thing. And that is basically why I moved out. The reason why I left my parents' house now, from a young age at 13 years old, my dad continuously told me at 13 years old, then at 14, then at 15, you have 3 years left, then at 16, you have 2 years left. I grew up in a very strict military household. I was basically conditioned from a young age that once you turn 18, you need to move out because now you're an adult. My dad moved out of his house when he was 17, and he would always try to compare his situation with mine. But the thing was, my dad moved out because he joined the military. Now that is something that was not in my budget. That is something that I did not plan on doing. I don't want to join the military. I told him, that's not what I'm trying to do, Dad. Sorry. That's not my plan. He said, then you better have money, you better have a job, you better find a way, because when you're 18 years old, you need to go because you're an adult. And the same with your brother. My brother is 17. He's going to graduate high school in a couple of months. He needs to have his whole plan and his life set together because he's going to get kicked out. Now, did I get kicked out? Kind of, sort of, kind of not. Once I hit 18 years old, my dad kept bringing it up, so when are you moving out? When are you moving out? And imagine hearing this every single day, every week. Eventually, it's just gonna get on your fucking nerves and you're just gonna wanna leave and be homeless. And I was getting to that point of like, I'm literally going to just like move in with one of my friends. I don't care if things don't work out. Like, I'm sick of this. So what was the final straw for old Simply Nessa? I went to Lana Del Rey's Ultraviolence tour with one of my friends. And because my phone died, because I was, you know, Snapchatting, this is when we had the iPhone 4s, the iPhone 5s, the battery was complete trash, it died very fast. So my phone died in an instant, and now I'm like, fuck, like now I don't know what time it is, I'm not gonna be able to contact my parents, so I'm gonna have to wait until the concert is over so I can charge my phone in my friend's car, and we can move on, whatever. So finally get to my friend's car, plug my phone in, and it's 11 something, and I'm like, great. My curfew was 10:30, the concert was supposed to end at what, 9:45, 10 o'clock, but Lana decided to take her sweet ass time and take an hour to come outside. So now I'm in trouble. I see nothing but phone calls from my dad and my mom, voicemails of my dad saying, if you think you're gonna come in the house after missing your curfew and not keeping us up to date, well, you're wrong. Stay outside. And I was like, fine, then catch me outside. How about that? And my mom obviously was like, no, Mija, just come inside. Like, I'm gonna open the door for you. So I end up going inside, and my dad gives me a speech the next day, and he's like, so you think you could just come in whenever you want? And I'm over here like, I come in every single day following y'all's rules. Every day I follow your fucking rules, and now when I have a little slip up because I was having fun, which I was scared to do because I was I missed so many parties, missed so many opportunities to have fun because of my curfew, and when I finally pass it just a little bit, you guys want to hop on my ass about it? Did I not already get myself into college? Did I not already impress you guys with this or with that? Like, what do you expect? Am I supposed to be perfect? So after that little argument and fight with my dad, I said, you know what, I've had enough, I'm out of here. Because I set myself up very well the past couple of years, I was able to get out, and I'm gonna share that with you guys right now. So from a young age, I've always been a hustler. In middle school, in junior high, whatever, I was always finding a way to make some sort of money. In middle school, I was selling those little bead bracelets. I was taking orders, bitch. I had my notepad, people lined up. So what color do you want? You want lilac? You want white? What kind of pattern do you want? Okay, that's gonna cost you $1.25. And they're like, okay, thanks. The next day, I have their bracelet, they gave me my cash. That's how I was making my money. That was my little business. And then once I got to junior high, I had a bag of hot Cheetos, and you know, some kids will be like, oh my gosh, I'll give you $5 for the bag of hot Cheetos. Please give it to me, I'll give you $5. And I'm like, here you go. pulls out another bag from my backpack that I bought for 99 cents. It's all about the hustle. It's all about the business. Half the time, I didn't even eat because I low-key was taking my parents' lunch money they were giving me. I was saving every penny that I could have. Every penny. I was doing what I had to do. Okay, I didn't have to do that, but it felt like I needed to. And I always wanted a job, you guys. Ever since I was like 8 or 9, I'm like, I want a job, I want to get a job. I'm over here 10 years old. Can you be 10 years old and get a job? Does McDonald's hire at 13? Always wanted a job. That has always been on my mind. Like, I've always been chasing that money, you guys. Like, when I tell you, I've always been trying to chase a check. I did not grow up in a wealthy family at all, you guys. I lived in a very, very small little town. Everybody's car had dents in it. Half of our neighbors probably didn't have AC. If I wanted something, the answer would always be, do you have the money for that? And I'd be like, no, and then you don't get it. And the simplest of things, can we go to McDonald's? I want a burger. How much is it? $1? Do you have $1? No. Then you don't get it. So I did not really have money growing up at all. The only money I had was basically what my grandmother would send me for Christmas and my birthday. So like I said, from a young age, I always was trying to get a job. I was always trying to get my own money so I could buy the things that I really wanted. So once I was finally of age to get a job, you guys, I got a job. I didn't care if I had to walk, take the bus, ride a bike, carpool, hitchhike. Don't hitchhike though, but I did not give a damn. Didn't care. I was gonna do what I had to do to get to work. So when I'm telling you guys, there's always a way of transportation, whether you need to take the bus for 50 cents or you gotta ask your grandma to take you, or you have to beg one of your friends to drop you off at work. Whatever you need to do, carpool, this, that. Figure out your situation. If you gotta go to the park and steal a 12-year-old's bike, then do it. Okay, don't steal. So because my family didn't have all the coins in the world, I wasn't able to just get a car. Like, I used to be so jealous going on Facebook, and a lot of these kids, like, for their 16th birthday, they were getting cars, and I'm over here like, bitch, I got a Razor scooter. So my mom, I was able to work something out with her that where she would drop me off at work and then pick me up later on. Like I said, I would have took the bus, I would have rode a bike, I would do what I had to do. So once I finally started collecting a couple of coins, my parents were like, okay, you're responsible. So I ended up getting my driver's license and I was able to drive my mom's car to work. It wasn't mine, it was her car, but she let me drive it to work. So now that I'm 16 years old and I already have, like not that much money, I have like a couple hundreds in my, savings account from previous little things I did in the past. Now that I have a real job, I'm like, oh yeah, this savings account is about to be looking real cute, you guys. And here's a tip for you. Now, this is not, okay, this is a good tip and also a bad tip because it can help you, but it can also not. I grew up with the thing in my mind, I will never have a credit card. Now, there's many ways to build credit as an adult, so some people might be like, no, Vanessa, don't encourage that. Don't tell people not to get credit cards. But I never got a credit card because a credit card to me is imaginary money. And I like nice things. So if I don't have the money, but the bank wants to borrow it, and they want to lend it to me, okay, swipe, why not? So to this day, 21 years old, I have never had a credit card. I only buy things if I have the money for it. So even as a teenager, I was that way too. Like, if I don't have the money for it, I'm not gonna buy it. That is one of the ways where I was able to really save money because I knew exactly how much was going in and out. Now, as an adult, credit cards can be beneficial if it's like a cash back offer, or if like you're really trying to build your credit, but you can build your credit from paying your phone bill, paying your insurance, you just keeping up with your bills. You can, Now, if you do have strong will and you're not gonna go and start swiping like crazy, then you can get a credit card and only use it for like gas or something, build your credit that way. But I personally, I have never had one. My credit is amazing and I never needed a credit card. So that is why I personally don't believe in them, because I don't believe in imaginary money. I don't believe in, if I can't afford it, then I can't afford it. So now that I had my first job, I was putting all of my money in my savings account. I was only using my money for the gas to put inside of my mom's car. And then eventually I had, I needed insurance to drive that car, so I was paying for my car insurance, and those were my bills. And then eventually my parents made me pay my phone bill. So those were the only bills I had. Everything else was going into savings. Of course, a couple dollars I would leave if I wanted to go like get a slushie from Sonic, get a Blizzard from Dairy Queen, even though I wasn't supposed to because lactose intolerant. Or if I wanted to go to the movies, I would, spend, bitch, going to the movies and it being $10 was very, very harsh on my bank account. I remember like swiping and getting so sad and wanting a refund. Like, I've always wanted to walk out of the movie theater and be like, it was awful, can I have my money back? Movie theater's expensive. Even today, like, I still feel some sort of way about paying fucking $15 to watch a movie when I could watch it online for free in the comfort of my home on my laptop. Yeah, it's illegal, but I don't care. Just be careful with your money. Be safe. Only spend on things that you know that you need to buy. If it's something that you don't need, put it down. I don't care if that girl has it or if this kid has it and you don't. Who cares? If you can't afford it, you can't fucking afford it. Get over it. So like I said, get a job from a young age and start saving your money. So now here I am at 17 years old and I graduated high school. I had a couple of thousands inside of my savings account because like I said, I was saving every check. There are kids who will literally be getting paid $400 every week, every 2 weeks, and they have zero because they keep spending it on clothes, new shoes, makeup, this and that. I was only buying what I needed because, like I said, from a young age, I had it in my head that, hey, I'm gonna move out when I'm 18 years old. I gotta save my money. So if you're as determined as me, then you're willing to make those sacrifices. I could have went on my senior trip and went to go to freaking Disneyland or go to this and do that, but that cost this much money and I'd rather save that. So I definitely missed out on a couple of things, but honestly I'm glad I did because I had more coins at the end of the day. So get a job, save your money. The second you were able to work, girl, sis, sir, boy, do it. Only spend your money on things that you need to. First, take care of all of your bills. Even as an adult, take care of your bills. Leave a little bit for leisure, for, you know, playtime, personal, and then the rest of it you need to save, and I guarantee you, you will have a lot more money in your bank. So now here I am at 17 years old. I'm working both my jobs, and now I'm starting college. So I'm like, great, like now this is gonna get in the way. But even though I was spending sometimes full days at school, I still had my 2 jobs. And then when winter time came around, I saw a little advertisement that said, Kohl's is hiring seasonal. I was like, oh yes, another job, more money, I'll take it. So now I have 3 jobs at 17, and that sounds very, very intense, but when I tell you guys, like if I was able to work 3 jobs and go to school full time, don't make no fucking excuses. There's no time for fucking excuses. If I was able to be a full-time student and have 3 jobs, y'all, I don't care what you say, boy. If I could do it, so can you. And like I said, I was borrowing my mom's car. It wasn't even mine. So some of the times I couldn't even take the car. I'll find a way. I will ride a bike. I will take a bus. I will walk. I'll do what I have to do. I will carpool. There's always a solution. Some people just have so much pride that they don't want to do certain things. I'm not taking the bus. I'm not taking this. Bitch, walk. Who are you? You're the one still stuck at home, so stop acting so bougie. So I did what I had to do. I collected my coins. I ended up, you know, not working with Kohl's anymore. Just because, like I said, it was seasonal, so it's only a couple of months. I only worked there because I wanted to get my coins up even more. And then the whole situation happened where my dad was like, you don't want to follow our rules? Then you can peace out. And I was like, fine, then I will peace out. So because I was so good with saving my money, I finally got myself a car. It was only a couple dollars a month. I put most of the money down when I went to the car dealership, and I was able to get myself a car for very cheap. I got a Hyundai. What was it? It was a Hyundai Elantra? No. Fuck, what did I have? It was really little. It was used, but hey, it got me from where I needed to go, A to B. Because like I said, I was saving my money. Now I have a car to get myself to school, to get here and get here, but now I have another bill. And I was doing YouTube at this time, so you guys, if you watched me back in the day and you saw that I was posting many times a week, imagine like I was working, going to school, posting all these times out of the week, but I was really good. I've always been good with time management. Now as an adult, I'll say I'll be there at 12, but I'll be there at 2:30. But like in the past, like if it's something really important or I know that I really need to like put my time together properly, then I'm gonna be able to do it. So I was, you know, managing my time really well, and then I was looking at apartments, trying to see my options. I kept seeing a lot of $2,000 a month, $1,500 a month, and that just was not fitting in my budget. So when you go to an apartment complex, sometimes they'll say you have to make double the amount of rent, but typically it's triple. So if I found an apartment for $1,000, I need to make at least $3,000 a month, and that's not realistic for a 17 or an 18-year-old. So my ass moved to the hood. I did not care, y'all. I have no fucking shame, and that's probably why a lot of bad things happened to me when I was 18, because I moved to a not so good area. But my rent was only like $700 a month, I think. They didn't ask me to like make a certain amount, because like I said, bitch, I moved to the hood. They don't give a damn if you make $5,000 a month, if you make $200 a month. As long as your bills are getting paid, they don't care. So I moved to the hood, and I was living in this really crusty apartment. Half the time the fucking lights didn't work, the water was brown, whatever. I did what I had to do to get out of my parents' house. So now I have my car payment, my rent, food, electric, water, phone bill, gas, student loans. But because I prepared myself as a teenager and I kept saving all this money, I had a little bit more room to wiggle. That's what I'm telling you guys, like preparation from a young age is definitely key. I was able to get out of my parents' house like that. Like the instant when my dad and me had this argument, I was like, that's the last straw. I'm moving out. I gotta go. Then I went the next day, looked at an apartment, signed for it, and I moved out within a week. When I tell you how shook my parents were, they were like, wait, you're leaving? And I was like, yeah, didn't y'all want me out? Like, didn't y'all want me to bounce? And my mom's over here like, oh my gosh, my child is leaving me. And my dad is over here like, wow, didn't expect that. And I'm over here like, y'all was really pushing me, really doing the most. And then when I finally get ready to leave, my mom's like, don't go. And my dad's like, oh shit. So I definitely proved my parents wrong. Like that's what I did to move out at 18 years old. I prepared from a young age. I was doing my whole YouTube thing, and that's why I appreciate YouTube so much. I mean, obviously I'm sure that a lot of creators appreciate their platform, but when I tell you guys I appreciate all of you so much, I was really doing a lot. Like I was in school, really pushing it, working my 2 jobs, and then still posting for YouTube, even though it wasn't making me any money. I didn't even have an AdSense until I was told that you could make money from YouTube. I thought it was for fun. So I'm over here just doing YouTube for fun, struggling. I was literally struggling, you guys. Like, of course I had, you know, a couple dollars here and there, but I was very, very strict. I had my bank account app open probably 23 hours out of the day. Like, if I even saw a penny move out of my account, I got scared. So I'm over here struggling from a young age, but I mean, I'm very happy with how my life turned out. And the reason, like I said, why I'm so grateful for YouTube is because right when I moved out and I was on my own for a couple of months, then out of nowhere, my channel just blew up. And of course, like, you make money from YouTube, but I didn't expect even more than 50 bucks from YouTube. I did not expect any of it. And when my channel blew up and you guys started supporting me with everything that I was doing, whether it be merch or just watching my videos or just everything, I was finally able to, you know, breathe. I wasn't able to breathe since I was like 12 years old. You guys really do mean the world to me. You guys definitely allowed me to breathe. Like, I was able to, you know, finally be somewhat financially secure now. I didn't just all of a sudden start getting thousands and millions of dollars and all this stuff, you guys. Like, don't get me wrong. But just being able to have like a little bit of help, and that AdSense really, it really helped me. It allowed me to like bitch, I was getting all my groceries from the Great Value section of Walmart. I was getting all my groceries from the 99-cent store, the Dollar Tree. All my house decor was from the Dollar Tree, Walmart clearance section. I was finally able to be a little bit, you know, do what I wanted to do, eat what I wanted to eat. Like, I was able to finally get in and out because like it was too expensive. You guys definitely have helped my life a lot, and I'm very, very grateful, and I'm very, very fortunate that you guys, you know, a couple years ago even clicked on that crazy ass thumbnail, that story time that I put out, because if it wasn't for me, you know, opening up and sharing that and being the dramatic crazy Nessa that I was, and if it wasn't for you guys accepting me and being curious and wanting to see what I was about, I would not be here today. I would probably still be in that apartment with my 2 jobs, not having a social life, struggling. I mean, when I was a teenager, I chose work over pleasure. I didn't really go out to a bunch of parties. I didn't, you know, get high all the time or drink and do everything that all my friends wanted to do because I was working. And a lot of the time it would be like, hey Vanessa, want to hang out? Sorry, I have to work, I have to work, I have to work. Let's do this after school. Sorry, I have to go straight to work. So I definitely jeopardized a lot of my teenhood and a lot of teen experiences that I could have had because I was so determined to be secure at 18 years old, because I was so scared of being kicked out and I just wanted my own freedom. So that is the story of how I moved out at 18 years old, broke. Like I said, I did not have any help from my parents, 0%. Of course, like, they helped me move my bed to my new apartment. But other than that, I haven't had financial support from my parents since I graduated high school. So that is it for this video. I just wanted to share with you guys my story of how I was able to move out at 18, because a lot of you guys have asked me in the comments below to talk about it, what my situation was, yada yada yada. But hopefully this helped you. I know there's probably a lot of questions that were left unanswered. Feel free to drop them below. I read all my comments. I'll feel free to answer anything you guys have. Tweet me, DM me if you have anything you want to talk about. I'm here for giving advice. I'm all for it. But that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for continuously supporting me, because without you guys, I would literally be like, I'd be dead. So thank you guys so much for all the support. And if you're not subscribed to my channel already, make sure you subscribe. If you're getting ready to move out, good luck, sis. We're halfway through a semester basically, so if you're about to graduate and bounce, good luck. It's gonna be a long road, but you're going to get through it. You're gonna be okay. I love all of you. Stay positive, stay happy, leave any questions below, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye!